All right, today we're doing lesson 16.4, dot plots and data distribution. Essential question, how can you summarize and display numeric data? All right, so yesterday's job with the box plots, you guys actually did a pretty good job constructing those. Today's lesson will be actually a lot easier, and you can probably draw a conclusion on what it's going to be. It's going to be dots on a plot. All right, so this is kind of what we look at here. All right, so let's just take a look at this example. Baseball team manager records the number of runs scored by the team each game for several weeks. And we've gone across, we actually used this for one of our activities when we were trying to figure out what the median was. And now we're just going to create them. So it's like the same idea. You're going to start with that number line that'll be given to you on your assignment. And then you're just going to go and you're going to make a dot now for every one of those points. So our first point is 1 there. So you go to 1 and then you make your dot. And now it's going to go up. So this is a really, really nice graph for certain parts of our data analysis, which we'll see here. All right, and then you'll see the types of questions you're going to be asked, eventually because of that. So how many games did the team play during the season? All right, so take a look. How would we know this? And this is where, some students could get confused. This is a graph of runs scored in each game. So what you would have to do is count the dots because each dot represents the runs in one game. So you would then add all the dots together. All right, 1, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 different dots are there. All right, and how about, or at how many games did the team score 2 runs or fewer? How do you know? All right, so this is where it's very nice for analysis. You find 2 runs or fewer, and then you only focus on that area there. So we have our 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so 10 games, the team scored fewer. Then you could see, if you're kind of a baseball fan, you'll know that low scoring game here, pitchers duel, and then here our offense is starting to take off. High scoring game there for the offense, right? And we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like 9 games that were over that 2-run target that they're talking about there. So a lot of different ways to look at it. All right. So again, this is the basics here. This is what you're going to do is you're going to complete a dot plot here. Different baseball team scores the following number of runs in its games for several weeks. And remember, you should always list just from 0, starting as your minimum list that's given to you, just because it lets you see things, away from 0 as well, and just go across there. Just list all your points. Now we're just going back. All right, we have 2 4s right away. Don't have to really put these in order, which I know a lot of you guys found it to be annoying, and I get it. All right, so 6, then 1. There's my 1. There's my 6. The only thing to remember is when you're making your graph, try to make it the same level, so all your first dots are on the same level, like the next floor, then you go up. So we have 2, and then we have 4. Then we have 1, and then we have 2. So there's my second floor. We have 5, and then 2 3s. First floor, second floor. Another 5, second floor. Another 4, going up, and then 2. All right, so use the data to make a dot plot. We already did that. How many games the team played and identify the data value with the greatest frequency. All right, so it's very, very nice to see that. There's a name for that in data analysis terms, and that is called the mode. And the easiest way to remember that, it's the number that appears the most. Appears the most, not is the most, appears the most. All right, so it's 4. And again, notice how it's kind of like the center of our graph. We were talking about measures of center before. And so kind of if we were going to calculate the average, you can kind of see right here, this one kind of shows you what it would be. It's going to be in this area here because it's going up as well, not to mention it's in the center of basically your range. All right, so don't forget, a couple of you guys got that wrong yesterday. The range is always the max versus the min. Dot plot's really good for that. It shows you the max right away, and it shows you the min. So it's 6 minus 1. That equals 5. If we wanted to find the actual median, or we could do that. We could put them all in order, right? We could do that by just counting from the left, right? How many games do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so if there's 15 data points, remember we talked about odd number. So there's going to be 7 on each side. So guess what we do? We start from the left and we're going to count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So our median is actually 3 on this one. All right. So that's how you calculate the median. And then if we're to find the mean, you add all of your values up and then divide by the number of dots. That's the idea there. All right. For these next ones, this is just kind of analysis. Take a look here. They're talking about how are these spread out. So take a look here. And see, notice how you can cut this right down the middle and it basically mirrors on both sides. That's known to be symmetrical. All right. So again, it's kind of clustered around the middle. Same on both sides, the line of symmetry. And so you can see how that center really tells a story. This graph here, on the other hand, is going to be different than that. Notice how there's one way to the side. It's called an outlier. So this one is really should kind of be discluded. Not used in your analysis because most of them are here, and that is kind of like it didn't mean to happen perhaps. And then this is not symmetrical because you can't cut it, and then it's the same on both sides, right? So that's where that's coming from there. So just terms to be aware of. All right, so here we go again. This one's done for you. Let's find our mean, median, and range. All right, so let's go backwards here. Range, what is it again? It's max minus minimum. All right, so very easy because the minimum is 0 here. And so all we have to do is look at our greatest value. What are we counting by here? Counting by ones, right? So that's 11. Be careful. So 11 minus 0 is 11. That is your range. All right, next, the mean. All right, so a little annoying because we're going to have to add all these up, but here we go. So that's a 0. That still counts. All right, so what do we have? 1, 2, 3 as a total there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, so that's 12. We have 3, 6, 9. We have 4, 8. We have 5, 6, 7, and then an 11 here. So now we need to add everything together. All right, so that's 15, 24, 32, 37, 43, 50, 61. All right, so here we go. How many dots do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, so there we go. I could take out my calculator if I wanted to up above. I know that 19 is very close to 20. I know 3 20s go into 60. All right, so that's how you do that, kind of in your head there. Subtract from here. We have 4. Bring down, I'm going to make this into a decimal now to see if I need to round up or not. I'm going to bring down my 0. All right, so how many 19s go into 40? Again, it's 2 times 19 is 38. I bring down my, subtract my 2. If you guys can't see that, all right, you can always, all right, I just want to make sure that I'm not rounding, okay, up for that number. So how many 19s go into 21? So again, I can leave it like this, approximately 3.2 or approximately 3. And then lastly, what is the median? All right, so again, they're already in order, which is good. So I just have to make sure that I find the middle piece. So I already counted the number of values before, right? 19. So what's the halfway point on 19? Okay. Some of you guys might be able to do that in your head. All right, one of those odd numbers sometimes is a little tricky. So it's 9.5. All right, so I'm going to find 9, and it's going to be the next one over. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's the next one over. That would be it right there. All right, so my median is 2. All right, so just make sure that you are thinking the right terms, right? And always just go up from there. And then if the median, is the next one, you'll see that. And it's nice in this case because we had odd numbers. If it would have been even, right, between those two, that would have been adding a 2 and a 3, and then, dividing by 2, but that's in case it was an even number. So this is what you're doing today, all right? So same idea. You're going to make a dot plot here about movies seen last winter, and then you're going to calculate mean, median, and range. Here we have a survey about how many people live in each student's home, all right? So you're going to make a dot plot there, and find mean, median, and range. All right, so any questions, let me know. Pretty straightforward again. Use those dots, all right? Please take your time when making your graphs. Some of your box plots yesterday quite messy, all right? So today, dots are the name of the game, so it should be a distinct dot that you're making. Remember your levels. as you're counting up. All right.